On a warm summer's day like today, it makes you wonder, how do we manage the water network in hot weather? Let's talk about it. Hi everyone, welcome to The Science Behind with me, Guy. We're back again for another video and I've got my colleague Katie with me. Hi Katie.
Hi Guy.
So Katie, what do you do for Yorkshire Water?
So I'm a social media advisor, which means I help look after our social media channels.
Excellent, and what are we doing today?
So today we're here at sunny Langsett and we're going to look at how we manage the water network during hot weather.
Perfect, let's go have a look.
So I'm here with Dave. Dave, what do you do for Yorkshire Water?
Hi Katie, I work in the raw water and maintenance team and we operate and maintain all of the reservoirs we have across the region.
Where does the water in Yorkshire come from?
Our raw water comes from a variety of sources, including reservoirs, rivers and boreholes.
So how much water do we take from reservoirs on a normal day versus rivers and boreholes?
On a normal day, we'll take 45% of our water from reservoirs, 30% from rivers and 25% from boreholes.
Can you tell me about the Water Resources Management Plan?
So our Water Resource Management Plan is how we plan for the future to ensure our customers have a safe and resilient water supply.
How does it work?
Well, our regulators set out our requirements for what we need to include in our plan, and this includes risks such as climate change, population growth and protecting the environment. When we produce our plan, we need to consider reducing demand as well as increasing the water available for supply.
So how do you manage it day to day?
So every week, we compare our reservoir stocks against historical data and customer demand. This helps us work out how much water we need to take from our reservoirs against our licences to provide a resilient supply to our customers.
So what benefits does this have for the customer?
Managing stocks in this way can help us preserve water in different reservoirs for when customers may need it the most. It also helps us find the most cost-effective way of treating our water across the region, so our customers are getting the best value for money.
What about during hot weather?
During hot weather, we can experience higher demand along with less rainfall to replenish our reservoir stocks. We have to be really careful to manage our resources during these periods, especially during droughts. My colleague Andy can take you through droughts and how we manage them.
My next stop was to Walshaw Dean to go and see Andy. Hi Andy, welcome back to The Science Behind.
Hi Katie, thanks for having me, great to be back.
What is a drought and what can its impact be?
A drought is a naturally occurring event, but it's something that we actually can't prevent from happening. It's generally a period of dry, prolonged weather, effectively meaning we're getting less rainfall. And in terms of that impact, we're getting less rainfall, therefore less resource for Yorkshire to use in reservoirs, in rivers, and also our underground reservoirs, also known as aquifers.
Are all droughts the same?
There's no single definition of what a drought is. They generally have the same characteristic in terms of less rainfall or below average. And the nature and timing and impact of a drought can vary depending on the type of industry that it's affecting.
How long can a drought last?
All droughts are different and they can vary from a few months right through to several years.
How do we maintain supplies?
Well, as Dave mentioned earlier, we've got a fully integrated and systemised approach to managing water resources across the region. And this ensures that we can maintain excellent water quality for our customers. We can maintain supplies at the lowest cost.
This might be a silly question, but why don't we just build more reservoirs?
It's not a silly question at all, Katie. This is something that is quite commonly asked from a lot of our customers, in fact. But building reservoirs is not easy. They're expensive. They're very impacting in terms of the environment. So as part of our water resources planning process, which we do every 5 years, we consider a lot of things. We have to look at population growth, we have to look at what water resource we've got available, what future demand's going to look like, future weather patterns, and all that combined means that we can make an assessment whether or not building a reservoir is one of our most appropriate solutions.
Andy thought it was a great idea that I go and see Fionna to learn a bit about the grid system. Now I'm here at Brayton with Fionna. So what are we going to be looking at today?
So we're going to have a look at the grid network today and see how the water is transported through the region.
Can you tell me what the grid network actually is?
So the grid system is a network of pipes that allows a bulk transfer of water from 2 water treatment works, one in the north, one in the east, down to a reservoir in South Yorkshire, and then also over to the west in the Leeds area. So this is the surge vessel house, and below ground you can see typical size mains on the grid network. So we've got 1200mm and a 42-inch in here that would have come out of Elvington water treatment works, but it work its way through various pumping stations on the way down there and various take-offs into other areas as well.
How old is the grid network?
The original part of the grid network was first built in the 60s, and that was the 42-inch pipe, and that was laid because of additional demand. It was then duplicated in the 80s because of further demand, and that was a 1200mm pipe that was laid, and that is a grid network as we know it today.
How does it help during hot weather?
So in periods of hot weather, we would maximise the river-fed water treatment works and minimise the reservoir-fed treatment works, and this is to preserve the stocks of water that we have in the reservoirs.
How do we make sure there's always water available?
We would need to ensure that there was enough water coming into the grid system from the water treatment works, and we would need to ensure that all the pumping stations on the grid network are in full working order.
Thanks for showing me around today. It's been great to learn about the grid network.
You're very welcome. And where are you going next?
I'm going to head over to Sheffield to find out about leakage with Fran. So why do we get leaks, especially during hot weather?
So it's similar to what we see in icy conditions. We basically get ground movement, which is caused by the moisture evaporating out of the soil and the soil drying up. We also see quite an increased demand. Obviously during hot weather, people are filling up paddling pools, watering the plants more, using hose pipes, and that does cause pressure surges in the system, which can lead to leaks and bursts.
What are we doing to stop them?
So one of the things we can do is fit pressure reducing valves, which basically do exactly what they say on the tin. They reduce the pressure that's going through the water network, which decreases the frequency of bursts and leaks.
How do we find leaks?
So we've got various pieces of equipment that we can use. We've got something called a ground mic, which is basically, again, what it says on the tin. It's a microphone that you put on the ground to listen for any noise that you can hear on the network underground. We've also got something called a correlator, which sends radio waves into the ground, and we can detect leaks using mathematical algorithms. We've also got a listening stick, which is something that's been used for hundreds of years in water companies, and it's basically just a metal rod with a wooden trumpet on the end. You place it to your ear and you place one end of the metal stick onto a valve or a stop tap, and you can hear the sound of a leak going through the network.
So what are our future plans for investment?
Over the next 5 years, we're investing £225 million in water resources. This includes a £153 million investment in fitting smart meters for customers, which is going to encourage them to use water more efficiently. We're also investing £16 million in more advanced pressure management systems to help us detect leaks more easily.
To finish the day, I went over to our central control room in Bradford to see how this all fit together. I've come over to our service delivery centre in Bradford, and I'm here with Tom.
Welcome, pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you. What do you do for Yorkshire Water?
I manage the emergency preparedness team to make sure we're resilient and prepared for every eventuality. And I manage the clean water teams within the control room.
So what are we going to look at while I'm here?
So today I'm going to take you into the control room and we'll learn a little bit more of how we manage hot weather and increased demand. Why don't we take a look?
Great, let's go. So we're in the control room now. Can you tell me what role it plays in hot weather and increased demand?
Our role is even more vital during periods of high demand and hot weather to make sure we plan accordingly, we have contingencies in place and we continue to deliver a service to our customers. Our key tasks during these periods are monitoring our alarms, reaching out to our assets and we can remotely operate assets to prevent issues from occurring, balancing our reservoir stocks across the region to ensure all our customers remain in water supply, and finally reacting and mobilising tankers where we can inject into the network or into reservoirs to make sure our customers remain on supply.
How do we manage our network and avoid disruptions to our customers' day?
All of our processes within the control room are centred around minimising the disruption to our customers, from monitoring reservoir levels to reacting to pressure and flow loggers. If we do see an issue, we'll mobilise the necessary resources to site to minimise that disruption and mitigate the problem as soon as possible. Why don't we find out a little bit more about what the teams do? So Hazley, he's one of our network controllers. He works on one of the 24/7 teams and they're managing all of our distribution assets from water pumping stations, service reservoirs and water towers to make sure there's no problems in your area. And this is Darren and he works on our production team and he's managing our water treatment works across the region. He can reach out remotely to react to any potential issues on site, or he can also mobilise process engineers if he needs to. And this is Anthony and he works on our water resources 24/7 team. Our water resources team look after all our raw water and they manage the bulk transfer of water around the region through our grid system. Paul is one of our duty operations engineers and when we do see an issue, Paul's quick to react to manage the incident to ensure we minimise the risk to our customers.
What can we all do to save water?
We've all got a part to play when it comes to saving water, from taking shorter showers, turning your tap off when you brush your teeth and using a watering can rather than a hose pipe in hot weather. We understand it's not all down to our customers and hopefully after hearing from Fran around leakage reduction and how we're trying to improve our performance, it's important that we all protect the environment we live in.
That was the science behind how we manage the network during warm weather. Katie, thanks for showing us around.
Thanks for having me. It's been great to learn about how we keep the taps flowing during hot weather.
Yeah, it's been great to see all the different sites and all the work that goes into it. And please don't forget to like the video,
subscribe to the channel
and leave us a comment in the section below if you've got a question. And well, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.